Okay, good evening, all of you. Okay, I'll just wait for a couple of minutes and then we'll start. Good evening, all of you. Welcome again to this live by Pathfinder. If you're here for the first time or if you're watching a replay, our lives are there every Friday and Saturday at 6:30 p.m. And we generally try to solve questions related to CAT. Either they are old CAT questions or questions that are similar to old CAT questions. So do join us if you are an MBA aspirant or if you're preparing for any of the MBA entrance exams. The modus operandi remains the same. I'll present to you a few questions. The sessions are not very lengthy, 35, 40 minutes, that's all. I'll present to you a few questions, generally 5 to 8 questions on a particular day, and we will only solve those many questions related to a particular topic. Any questions, anyone? Anyone who has any questions? Okay, we have some other people also joining. Okay, so are you ready for the first question? So today we will be doing the TITA type in the option type of questions. I believe you need to practice solving such questions as well. Let's go to the first question today. I think this should be an easy one for most of you. I'll give you 2 minutes to solve. In fact, this question doesn't require 2 minutes. Max is a minute probably. Your time starts now. Okay, I think Subodh has the right answer. Very good, Subodh. Easy question, and you've got the right answer. Prachi also has the right answer. But since I've given you that time, let us see if you can arrive at the correct answer. No, Disha, you're making a small mistake, fundamental mistake. Okay, now Disha says 3 square. So let us start solving this question. Okay. Two students watched a patriotic movie. So you have a student 1, you have a student 2, and an analyst has asked them a question whether they liked the movie or they did not like the movie. So obviously, if somebody asked you whether you liked the movie or you did not like the movie, you can answer a yes or a no. But here it's also given that each student can either answer the question or refuse to respond. So there is a third alternative, did not answer. It's like the nota option. I'm sure you heard of none of the above option in the elections. So the first student can answer in 3 ways. The second student can answer in 3 ways. Just a moment. So the first student can answer in 3 ways. The second student also can answer in 3 ways. And since both the answers are compulsory, I mean, both the students have to answer. Either they answer or they do not respond. But the question has been put across to both the students. Therefore, there is an and in between. And we all know that in maths, and is always replaced by a multiplication sign. The correct answer will be 3 into 3. Now, let me pose to you a similar question. Suppose a person has to answer a multiple choice questions, which has 4 options. Okay? Any number of options can be correct. So in how many ways can a person answer such a question? Let us see how many of you are able to answer. So it's a multiple choice and multiple option answer question. Those of you who are here for the first time, let me also tell you that we do not start with basic theory here. I will not try to solve questions from the fundamental methods, or I will not be very slow in solving these questions. We do that in our regular routine class. But if you do not understand something, please feel free to ask me immediately. If time permits, I will definitely try to resolve your query here. The objective here is very simple, very clear, and that is to give you some practice on CAT level questions. So we are doing permutation and combination. This is the second day, and I assume that some basic knowledge of permutation and combination is there with the student. So, this has to be assumed. How many of you got the right answer, or how many of you are able to answer here? How many of you are able to answer? I said there is one multiple choice questions with multiple correct options, with possible multiple correct options. And the question is followed by 4 options. In how many ways can anyone answer these questions? Anyone? Atharva says 10, Disha says 4. So Atharva, how do you say 10?
So it can initially single option would be correct, then 2 options, 3 options, and 4 options. So I'm taken each case and add.
So how did you get 10? That is my question. Prachi, you've made a small mistake. Okay, let me solve this question for you. Let me solve this question for you. See, a question can have 4 options. Let's say A, B, C, D. And since this is a multiple correct question, so either only one option is correct, or 2 options are correct. Correct? If only one option is correct, so the student can mark in 4 ways. Either he'll mark A or B or C or D. So there are 4 ways of marking this question when only one option is correct. If 2 options are correct, the student may mark, okay, let me take this to another page so that I'm able to show you how to do this. So there we have options A, B, C, D. And if a student marks only one option, so he will either mark A or B or C or D. So there are 4 ways of answering this. But he could also mark 2 options. Even 2 options may be correct. And which 2 options could be correct? So it could be either A and B are correct, or A and C are correct, or A and D are correct, BC correct, BD correct, or CD correct. So 2 options can be marked in 6 ways, or 3 options may be correct. If 3 options are correct, it could be in the form of ABC, ABD, ACD, and BCD. These are combination of three options that can be correct, which is again 4 ways of marking them, or all the 4 options can be correct, and that can be marked only in one way. So what is the total number of ways of answering this question? 4 plus 6, 10 plus 4, 14 plus 1, 15. So why I introduced this question? Because the earlier questions seem to be very elementary, but this multiple correct option marking question is also based on the same method. So anybody who is even a little bit aware of combinations will answer this question in this way: 4C1 plus 4C2 plus 4C3 plus 4C4. And I repeat, this is not a fundamental session, this is not a basic session. I will not build any question or any topic from the basics. So those of you who are here for the first time, please note that this is something that we leave in our regular classes, building each and every question from the basics. But here, I will assume that a little bit of knowledge of permutation combination, basic knowledge of permutation combination is already there with you and solve. So this is equal to 2 to the power 4 minus 1, and that is equal to 15. Atharva, I hope that sorts your problem. That sorts your doubt.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Let us try to solve the next question. Again, 2 minutes, and your time starts now. Prachi, are you saying 20 is the answer to this question?
Yes, sir.
No, that's not right. That's not correct. So newcomers, please note that we are not solving questions from basics. This is a live. I assume some basic know-how of the topic of permutation and combination. And as I always say, basics say we start in our regular classes. But in a live session, we are going to solve the question. The idea is to solve it. And most of these questions are CAT level questions or old CAT questions. No, Disha, not 15 as well. चलो, I guess मुझे ये question solve ही करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. See, Ram has 5 different books on different subjects, and he wants to arrange on 2 shelves, right? Not 600 also, Prachi. अब एक बार देख लो इधर, 2 shelves. There are 2 shelves, shelf 1 and shelf 2. I call them S1 and S2. Case 1. All 5 books are in shelf 1. Correct? All 5 books in shelf 1. Case 2. All 5 books in shelf 2. Case 3. 4 books in shelf 1 and 1 book in shelf 2. No. Please now listen to me. None of you got the right answer. एक बार मुझे देख लो. It's an easy question. Just that you have to analyze it the right way. Or you can have 1 book on shelf 1 and 4 books on shelf 2. Correct? or you can have 3 books on shelf 1 and 2 books on shelf 2, or you can have 2 books on shelf 1 and 3 books on shelf 2. There is no other way of distributing books in shelves. So 5 0 0 5 4 1 1 4 3 2 2 3, and these are all OR cases, right? Either you can have case 1 or case 2 or case 3 or case 4 or 5 or 6, and therefore for each case whatever answer you get, you will add them up. So suppose 5 books are to be arranged in shelf 1. So 5 different books in shelf 1 can be arranged in 5p5 or factorial 5 ways. Similarly, 5 books in shelf 2 can be arranged in factorial 5 ways. 4 books in shelf 1 and 1 book in shelf 2. Now, first thing you need to do is, there are 5 books, you need to divide them into 4 parts and 1 part. This can be done in 5c4 ways. So 5c4, you break it up into 4 and 1 into factorial 4. Similarly here, 5c4 into factorial 4. Here you will have 5c3 into 3 factorial into 2 factorial, and lastly 5c3 into 3 factorial into 2 factorial. Apparently बड़ा दिखता है, पर इतना बड़ा है नहीं. 120, अगर थोड़ा सा भी बेसिक्स आपको परमुटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन का पता है, तो दिस क्वेश्चन इज एब्सोल्युटली यू नो इजी. थोड़ा सा पता होना चाहिए आपको परमुटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन बस. 5 into 24 is again 120. This is also 120, 120 and 120. On the whole, your answer is 720. So if you understood the solution, give me a thumbs up. If you understood the solution, give me a thumbs up, please.
So why can't we do 25p2?
25p2, there are no 25 books. We have only 5 books.
Okay, so I thought कि maths के 5 book है, physics के 5
No.
books है. Okay, 5 books on 5 different subjects.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
So we don't have 25 books, we have only 5 books, that's why. So let us look at a third question. And your 2 minutes starts now. जो लोग यहाँ पहली बार आ रहे हैं, please note that our lives are there every Friday and every Saturday. We solve questions related to old CAT examination or on around the same level as the CAT level quant questions. And slowly we will also start doing these lives for data interpretation and English verbal ability section. So do stay tuned to us. Stay tuned to our channel Pathfinder for Me. You can subscribe to that channel to receive notifications on a regular basis. We have these lives on Friday and Saturday at 6:30 p.m. every week. Those of you who are new to CAT never will test you on extremely tough questions. They will only be applications of basic concepts. So for the past 20 years that I have seen CAT, roughly 50 to 60% of questions of CAT are very manageable with basic concepts. Let us look at this question. Anybody who's got the answer to this one? This time nobody even tried. Like 20 couples attend a party. So if 20 couples attend a party, there are 40 people in all. And when two people shake hands, you need a pair of people. So if there are A and B, only then can a handshake be possible. You cannot have a handshake in isolation. So from 40 people, if I want to know what is the total number of handshakes, I have to select as many groups of two as feasible. So from 40, how many groups of two can be feasible? 40 C2 groups are feasible. But see, there are some constraints that husband-wife did not shake hands. Now, if there are 20 couples, it means there are 20 husband-wives, and these 20 people did not shake hands with each other. So you will have to subtract 20 from this list. And 6 of these couples are Indian couples, and Indian wives don't shake hands with any men. I think this is a Baba Adam ke zamane ka question, but still, Indian wives don't shake hands with any men. So there are 6 wives. Already, they won't shake hands with their own husband. That has been considered in this 20. And they will not shake hands with 19 other men. So 6 into 19 handshakes will not take place. So your answer will be 40 C2 minus 20 minus 6 cross 19. What is 40 C2? 40 into 39 by 2 minus 134. So 780 minus 134. And you should be able to do such calculations orally. So how will you do this calculation orally? See, I'll just introduce a small method to subtract this orally. Sab log kar loge. So 780 minus 134. Just put a lal line, red line here and here. Correct? 7 minus 1 gives you 6. Correct? 80 minus 34. Now 80 minus 40 will be 40. Minus 34 will be 6. So 46. So you have 646 as the total final number of handshakes. I hope this part is clear to all. Is the solution clear to all? If it is, give me a thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Again, these two questions just require your ability to count and still are very similar to exam questions, just because there is one small catch in this question. Let's see how many of you are able to recognize it. Your time has already started. 2 minutes to solve these questions. I think we'll be able to do only 2 more questions today. Yeah. So once again, a reminder for newcomers. In live sessions, I don't start from basics. I assume that you have basic knowledge of permutation and combinations. So for basics, we start, basics is what we cover in our classes. Anyone who's got the answer to this question? No, I don't think so. Okay, Subodh, I think you have got the right answer. Okay, anyone who's got the right answer here? Chalo, let us see. Sambhavi wants to go from Jammu to Bangalore. So Jammu to Bangalore. By taking halts at Delhi and Nagpur. So she takes halt at Delhi and Nagpur on the way. So she's traveling from Jammu to Bangalore, taking a halt at Delhi and at Nagpur. So she has options of 2 flights and 3 trains from Jammu to Delhi. So 2 flights plus 3 trains from Jammu to Delhi. This is the first thing that you should know. Then 2 trains and 3 buses from Delhi to Nagpur. So 2 trains and 3 buses from Delhi to Nagpur. 2 flights, 2 trains and 4 buses from Nagpur to Bangalore. Again, some of you are new here. In live classes, I do not start with basics. I'm telling again and again, I assume that most of you have some knowledge of permutation combination and fundamental principle of counting. The question here is, in how many ways can she travel if she takes exactly 1 train during the whole journey? So if she's taking exactly 1 train, that train could be taken on any of the segments. There are 3 sectors here. Case 1, the train journey could be between Jammu and Delhi. So the train journey could be taken here. Case 2, the train journey could be in Delhi to Nagpur sector. So your train journey is here, Delhi to Nagpur sector. And case 3, the train journey could be between Nagpur to Bangalore. So if she takes a train, as case 1 says, if she takes a train from Jammu to Delhi, she has 3 choices. So 3 choices for trains. Now Delhi to Nagpur, she can't take trains, so she'll have only choice of 3 buses. Nagpur to Bangalore, again, she can't take trains, so 4 buses and 2 flights. So she has 6 options. So 54 ways in all, according to case 1. Case 2, she doesn't take a train from Jammu to Delhi. So it will be only 2 flights from Jammu to Delhi, multiplied by, she takes a train between Delhi to Nagpur. So again, 2 choices of trains. And from Nagpur to Bangalore, she doesn't take trains. So either 4 buses plus 2 flights. So 6 cases. So 24 ways. And third case, she takes a train from Nagpur to Bangalore. So there are 2 flights, then 3 buses in the second segment. And since she takes a train, there is a choice of 2 trains. So 12. So 54 plus 24 plus 12 gives you 90. How many of you got 90? Oh, none of you got 90. So are you clear as to how you calculated this? See, if you know a bit of permutation combination, this should be easy for you to understand. That level of explanation I am doing. If you have no know-how of permutation and combination, probably you'll not be able to follow anything that I'm saying. And in which case, you should just stay back at the end of the class. I'll have a 2 minutes talk with you. Let's move on to the next question, and probably the last question for the day. You have 2 minutes and your time starts now. Not one. Oh, I won't know. I don't know whether your answers are right. Don't look like they are the right answers. See, 8 girls were playing a game during which they decided to sit around into concentric circles. So here we have two concentric circles, one, and around that we have another. Please assume them to be circles. So 4 of them will sit in the inner circle like this at these places, and 4 of them will sit in the outer circle. In how many of the, see, there are 8 girls, out of which one of the girls is Priya, who is also the game master, and game master has to sit on the outer circle. So what is the first task we need to do? Out of the remaining 7 girls, we have to decide which 3 will be sitting at the outer circle and which 4 in the inner circle. That is the first task we will do. This happens in 7C4 ways. You can also say 7C3 ways, but 7C3 and 7C4 are equal. Now, once the girls are separated, we have 4 girls for the outer circle, girl 1, girl 2, girl 3, and the 4th girl is Priya. And then we have girl 5, girl 6, girl 7, and girl 8 in the inner circle. So you arrange 4 girls around a circle in factorial 3 ways. Now, once the 4 girls in the outer circle have been arranged, the inner circle, you will not treat it like a circle because you already have something fixed. And with reference to this, you will treat the inner circle like a straight line. So the 4 girls on the inner circle will be selected, will be arranged in factorial 4 ways. So your answer is 35 into 6 into 24. So 35 into 144, whatever the answer will be. This should be your answer. Have you understood this?
So why would it be factorial 4?
Yeah, I knew that question would come up. See, what happens is, already हम लोगों ने बाहर के सर्कल में रेफरेंस बना लिया है. हम एक माइनस क्यों करते हैं जब हम नॉर्मली अरेंज करते हैं अराउंड अ सर्कल? तो एक माइनस क्यों करते हैं? व्हाई डू वी सबट्रैक्ट 1? बिकॉज if there are 4 girls sitting G1, G2, G3 and G4, because in a circle there is no starting point, so I assume this to be the starting point, and the remaining 3 girls are arranged with respect to this. In a single line, I have position 1, position 2. I know that this line will always start at one end. So therefore, in arranging around a circle, I will always arrange them in 4 people in factorial 3 ways, or n people in factorial n minus 1 ways, which is true for the outer circle. But now look at arrangement of these inner circle girls with respect to the outer circle. So suppose I have chosen girl 1 to be 1. So I have to take this reference here also. So a girl 1 in the inner circle will be with reference to this outer circle girl. And therefore, for the inner circle, I don't have to have another reference point. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
And therefore, I multiply by factorial 4 again for the inner circle. So that brings me to an end of today's class. Thank you all for joining. Those of you who are here for the first time, you could just stay back for a couple of minutes. I would like to interact with you. Others who have been here can leave now. Thank you for joining. The next live will be on next Friday. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so do you have any questions for me? If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Which place are you from? Okay. I guess we'll have to. Do you have any